Hello everyone and welcome to the live stream. If you're on YouTube, welcome to the video. So today we're going to be on Car Mechanical Simulator 21. Yeah, sorry, I was just making sure my mic wasn't muted then. For some reason I thought it might be muted. We're going to be starting a new game. So I have played this before. It's been a while. It's been quite a while since I was played it. So hopefully it goes quite well. So we just started out. We have got some credits, one, and we have 0 XP. But we're going to be doing a bit of playthrough on this, and we are going to see how we do. We have it on. So I got it on easy, got it on normal, and I didn't want to do expert because I thought it might be a little bit too chorus for the video. So first thing is we need to find the phone, there it is, so that we can take a job. So I don't think we want the story one just yet, they're usually quite expensive, so we'll go for this Valsen, which is technically a Volvo. Excuse the noise in the background, Evex is just opening a can of Coke. And if you can hear anything in the background, please excuse it. Evex is doing her own stream currently, and she is doing House Flipper. So if you do fancy watching a bit of House Flipper, just jump over to her channel. So we're going to take the Valsen 2040, and it needs the brake system fixing. So let's see what we need. It's got bliss provided as well. So let's get this. Right, so it needs a brake system fixing. So first off, let's have a look under the hood and see if the servo is okay. Looking at it, no. Let's have a look. Yep. The ABS module looks fine, but the actual servo is broken. So take the module off. By the way, I am playing this on Xbox Series X. So it's not the PC version. Version, and it's not much different than the PC version, to be fair, except you don't use the mouse, you just use the controller instead. Right, that's the ABS pump out. So that's the first thing that needs done. Let's have a quick look. Oh, I added something to the list, I did not need to do that. So you'll have to bear with me, I've forgotten most of the controls. Car status, that's what we're after. So we want to know what the list is. So brake system, ABS pump, brake disc, brake pads, brake pads. So 2 brake pads on the brake disc. So I am feeling, can we see? That's the disc. And the pads, I think that one. Not sure where the other one is. Let's get it up in the air. Controls. Okay, so looking at it, that pad's there, that one off. And my volume is adequate. Right, so we're now going to do, yeah, definitely. Let's get it off. Or if you can hear any vibrations in the background, for some reason Evex's phone keeps going off. There, so we'll have to remove it off. There we go. And now that brake pad looks perfectly fine, so we can actually put that wheel back on. Oh, didn't mean to do that. That mount. Let's put the wheel back on. know this one's a disc. It could be the pad on this as well. Yeah, the pad looks fine on that, doesn't it? Take the disc off, and we can get the disc replaced. Pads out, and there we go. So it must be on this wheel. It's always on the last one you look on. Yes, it's that pad. You can clearly tell it's that pad. There's no right and left on it. That's shocking. There we go. Sorted. Right, so let's go into our inventory. There we go. And yes, it's that pad, so we need to add them to the shopping list. So that pad, that brake disc, and the ABS pump, and I'm guessing it's that brake pad too. Let's get them ordered. Computer. And we need to go on. I think it's on the main shop. You have to bear with me a little bit because it has been a little while since I played this. So let's go on the shopping list, and we don't want that. That needs to be removed. So let's delete that from the list. So we need 2 brake pads, brake disc, and an ABS pump. So let's get the brake pads first. So 2 of them. Buy them. That's that done. Oh, didn't want to do that. Back. Shopping list again. Let's remove that from the list. Need a brake disc now, so we need to buy that. Use one of them. And then we need to go back because the servo from right is under electronics. The pump, sorry, not servo. So shopping list just to make sure that we do buy the right one because I do think it's that one there that's 950. But just to be sure, take it from the list and then we know it definitely is. So let's open the shopping list just to remove that. That's that done. Nice and clean. Excuse me, my throat is a bit froggy. So, let's get back into out mode. Let's get these brake discs back on. So 100%, that is a nice new disc. Seems a shame that we're putting a bit of a dodgy caliper back on there. But it's not our car, it's what they want. And it's what their job. We're fine until we go on a car, regardless of condition. I do like to try and make the cars 100% when I'm building my own. So I like them to be as perfect as possible. Okay, disc back on. Pad and caliper. Get the wheel back on. Nice and easy. Get the wheel on. And that's that one done. And then mount to the other side. Get the last one on. Sorry. Camera's a bit wiggly here. I keep forgetting it's inverted. And then the 52% brake pad. Put caliper on again. And then the wheel. That way to some of the pipes in so we can get this stuff done a little bit quicker. So let's get it down. Sorry, bear with me. My control skills on this are a bit iffy, to say the least. Right, so let's get the ABS pump back in. I'll get that in, 100%, and then module on top, which is in really poor condition, but it didn't want it changing, so that's what it is. Now, be job complete. So let's have a quick look status. So, yep, all job done. And then, where is it now? Oh yeah, we have to go into the car status, don't we? To complete the job. No finish order. Job done. So we were paid 1,400. So we spent a bit of money. Made technically 386 credits profit off that job on top of parts. Not too bad. Let's see what else is available. Right, so we've got a Mayan M3, which to me looks a bit like Audi, potentially. Yeah, a bit like an Audi. So it's got a mechanical problem, so repair with parts of minimum condition of 79%, and it will give us a list to complete. Obviously we are early in the game, so it is going to tell us exactly what's wrong with the cars. It's just the way it is when you first start out on this game. Always sort of gives you a bit of a list, and then later on you have to discover your own problems. So let's have a look. There's a list. Okay. Right, change brake fluid, drain old and fill with new, change coolant, change power steering, and windshield washer fluid. Right, so we need to get out on the ramp. Oh, hold on, did it say oil actually? Brake fluid, coolant, power steering, and windshield. Yeah, so we don't even need to take it in the garage. We can actually do it out here. So coolant reservoir, lock and part, and then we need to... We got the tool for it actually. Additional tools. Yes, we do. So drain tool. So we're going to drain it all out. And then we'll drain that one. And we'll do it all. Power steering. And then... what's the one again? Oh yeah, the brake fluid. Let's get the brake fluid out. Right, so let's top up. Get these filled back up. And that's that done. Okay, so I'll spin the camera around and we'll flick back over to the front of the engine where the bottles are. There we go. Spin the screen around a bit. Coolant. Let's get the coolant back in. And for any of you guys watching who don't know a lot about cars, you might learn a little bit from this actually. Because most cars, the coolant reservoir, the windscreen washer reservoir, power steering and brake are usually roughly in around the same place in most cars. Not all. They're usually either on the left or the right, but majority of the times they are roughly in the same places. So if it's one on the left, it'll probably be roughly where it is on this in the left, and same for if it's on the right, it'll be roughly in the same place on the right. Most cars are generically the same, to be fair, in real life, so might teach you a little bit on how to do your own fluids in your own car. But I'm not saying do it, I'm not advising you to do it, I'm not advising you to tamper about your car if you do not know what you're doing. But you know, you might learn a little bit. At least you'll have some knowledge as to where certain things are in your own vehicle. Which I do think is a nice touch with this game. It does actually give you a bit of an insight into how cars kind of work. Right, so that be all done, if I'm correct. So let's have a look. Car status. Yep, all done. So finish order. Another nice job done. We got 175 for that, so we only had a little bit really. Back inside. Well, there's a door. It's over there. And let's get another job. So we've got another one here. We've got a Hinita Moon Mark 1 Sunrise. It's got mechanical problem and it's other tasks again. So what are the tasks on this one? Let's have a look. So car status. And it wants refill brake fluid, refill coolant and refill power steering. So it's pretty much the same as the last one. It's just a quick coolant change and what have you. I'm not going to drain it because it doesn't want us to drain it. It just wants us to top them up. Let's top that up. You want to fill it at least halfway. Power steering, there we go. I am fine. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Chernush Cat. I'm very well, thank you. How are you? Right, and just one more. We need to do the brake servo and get some brake fluid in here. That filled up. Just blow the max. There we go, that should do. Job done. Close the hood. Our bonnet, as we call it in the UK. Right. Car checklist, and all done. Finish the order, and that is another job finished and done. Motoring through these jobs at the moment. They're quite easy ones. Getting them done pretty quick. So what's next? So we've got another one. We've got an Emden Jagger, or Jaeger. Not sure how you want to pronounce that. Yeah, I can call you Cheer, that is perfectly fine. Welcome to the stream, Cheer. Hope you're enjoying it so far. Right, so we've got an Emden Jagger or Jaeger, however you want to pronounce it, depends where you're from. TG. It's a 14... I forgot how you pronounce that. Overhead cam. It's an overhead cam. Turbocharged. It's technically a Volkswagen Golf. So it's got overlist, minimum repair of 38%, and we're not sure what's in it yet, so let's see what we get. Ooh, that's a bit rough. It's a rough looking car. Right, so let's have a look inside on the checklist, see what they give us. So they want us to do the brake fluid, coolant, power steering fluid, and washer fluid again, but they want us to drain it all. So still don't need to take it inside, so a nice job for outside again. Let's get the tool out for draining, and let's get all the reservoirs drained. By the way, if I don't answer your comments straight away, please don't take it offensively. I have a habit of not seeing the chat sometimes, because the way I've got my setup positioned, I have my PC screen underneath my TV. And I'm obviously, because I'm currently playing on the Xbox, I'm looking up, so my PC screen's sort of like just out on my peripheral vision, so I don't always notice the chat straight away. And it's the same when I'm on the PC. When I'm streaming off the PC, my TV's above my peripheral vision, so it's I don't always see it when I'm looking at the chat on my TV. By the way, can I ask you a question? Of course you can. You can ask me whatever you like, to an extent. Out, and we'll switch it back over and then we'll refill. And that should be enough. Let's swing back around so that I can see the front. It's the only problem with this game, there's no sort of like controls for moving the camera around easily. Coolant, lime. Again, you want to fill it to just over halfway at least, and that should be a nice amount of coolant. But if you are in doubt, if you look, obviously I can't point it out in a second, I'll point it out in a minute. You can just see on the screen, it's just in the top right corner of the bottle where the max line is. Most bottles do have them, so if you look around you will be able to see where the max is. Cheer says, what car do you like the most? Ooh, that is a good question. I have a few cars that I actually really like. A car I would love to have, I like my sports cars, don't get me wrong, and super sports and all that kind of thing. But I'm more of a luxury car kind of person, so if I could have any car, it would more than likely, obviously, one that I can't afford, obviously, I would like a Rolls-Royce Phantom. I would absolutely love a Rolls-Royce Phantom. In the category of what I probably could afford in my actual means, I'd probably go for something similar in something like a Chrysler 300C. I would love something like that. That's on the luxury side of things. If I was going like sports or muscle or something like that, I'd probably go for a Ford Mustang. I really do love the Mustang. But in the realm of like everyday normal cars, I actually quite like. My previous car was a Peugeot 2008, I do quite like them. I prefer the newer ones. Mine was a slightly older one. It was a 2016. It was a nice car, but I just didn't like the back of it. It was too round. It wasn't square enough for me. But yeah, no. In regards to my favourite cars, I really do like Rolls-Royce. Like I said, 300C. Because it's similar to the Rolls-Royce. I really like the Mustang, and if I was going to go for a hypercar or a supercar or something along them lines, I'd probably go for the McLaren Senna. Really like the McLaren Senna. It's a very nice car. Right, so car status, that should be... Oh, we didn't do the power steering fluid. I missed it because I was talking that. I missed the power steering fluid. But yeah, no, they are some of my favourite cars. I wouldn't say I have an absolute favourite, but they are some of my favourites. Che says I'm more like the 60 to 70 TH style of cars, but I also like the Chevrolet Camaro. Out of, do you mean like the modern Camaro or the more classic one? So when you say 60 to 70, do you mean like 60s and 70s Camaro? That's the power steering fluid done. Okay, let's close the hood, and that should be done. Yep, that's done. Finish order. Sorry, even though I am into cars and all that kind of thing, I don't talk a lot of lingo to do with cars. So you may lose something on me. No, I don't want the computer, I want the phone. Right, that's that done. So we've got a Valson 204 diesel. So again, it is technically a Volvo, and it's not really giving us any clue as to what it needs, apart from it's mechanical. So let's take the job. It's probably going to be brakes again. Let's have a look. So checklist and brake fluid, coolant fluid, power steering fluid. We're getting a lot of these fluid changes. They're throwing these fluid changes at us. Did it say drain? No, just refill. Okay. So let's have a look. We are in the engine. I don't want to be in the engine. I want to be above the engine. So let's pull out. I can't see. Let's go on the washing ball. There we go. That's better. Let's refill. Let's refill. There we go, that's that one done. And we need... where is it on this one? Coolant is in the radiator, so obviously an older style car, the coolant won't have a bottle, it will be in the radiator. And you can't really see where the max is on this, so you've got to kind of guess. As the bottle starts to drop on this game, that's roughly when you're at where you want to be. Power steering. Come on, that's it, Phil. That should do. And last one, braked at the back. There we go. Let's get that. That should be job done. Shut the bonnet. Bonnet, not hood. Bonnet. Yeah, that's all done, and finish order. Right, back inside, let's grab another order. We're motoring through these quite quick. They're all coolant changes. Let's see if we can actually upgrade anything yet. Let's see if we've got any points. We've got 1 point. So what have we got? So we can move faster with ability to fix parts from group 1. increased chance of instant repair. Okay, so that's a repair thing. Fast hands, strong arms, increased screwing speed, increased mounting speed. Regular cost of 5% discount on parts you buy, and cuts time to examine parts. I think we'll go with the regular customer, just get a bit of a discount, so we're making a little bit more money on purchases. A little bit more money on jobs, and we're spending less on purchases from the shop. I think that'll be quite... Oh, no, we have no skill points. That costs 1 skill point. I was looking at the wrong point of the screen then. Yeah, but I think that's what we'll go through for first when we actually come to do it. What have we actually got here? So garage expansions, paint shop, salvaging, tablet, onboard diagnosis, fuel pressure, tread gauge, compressor test, welder, charger, engine tools, body repair station, and window tint too. Okay. So we're not ready for that yet. Not ready for that yet. Let's have a look. So phone again. So we've got a Hinter Kagura SX, which looks to me a bit like a Mitsubishi Evo. Maybe right there? Not sure. Yeah, looks like an Evo. Brake system needs fixing, so that's going to have to go on the ramp. Let's have a quick look at the checklist before we move it, just to make sure. Brake caliper, brake disc, yep, it's going to have to go on the ramp. So let's move it to the ramp. Okay, so what did it actually say? Now, did it say anything about the... No, it didn't. So it's all underneath, all under work. There we go. Let's do it again, don't we? Yeah. And up one more time. Right, so clearly you can see that brake disc is absolutely shredded. It's seen a lot better. Yes, that is absolutely toast. Get the caliper off and get the brake pad off. Okay, so that's that done. And I forgot to empty my inventory earlier. That was a silly mistake. Never mind. I was wrong, not in the 70s, but in the 50s. Okay, the Buick LeSabre, Buick LeSabre, 1959. Yeah, I actually play Forza Horizon 5, and I actually have a Buick LeSabre. I'm sure it's a 59. I was using it last night, believe it or not. It's the first time I've ever used it. And yes, it is a very, very nice car, very nice looking car. I was looking at when I was racing with it, I was like, this is a really nice car, but it's really difficult to handle. That back end likes to swing. I'm into my racing games. I do like my racing games. And the Buick, it's a beautiful car, absolutely beautiful. But yeah, it's when you're actually using it, especially, I don't know what it's like in real life, obviously, never driven anything like that myself, but on the game, it likes to swing that back end out. It was quite difficult to keep straight. Right, that's that one done. I think that one is absolutely shredded as well. I'll have to check actually to make sure it is a Buick LeSabre 59. I'm sure it was. Could be wrong. Actually, while I'm just live streaming, I'll actually look that up. Just give me a second. Sorry guys, for anybody who is actually watching. I just want to check whether it is the one that I was using last night. So... Sorry, please bear with me. You said a 59, didn't you? No, it wasn't the same one. No, I was wrong. No, I can't remember what year it was then. That wasn't always Sabre. No, that is a very nice car. That it's got a very similar styling to a cat to the I forgot what it's called. It's one of the famous Cadillac, with the massive wings on the back. It's got a very similar styling to that. But no, that's a very nice looking car. It's got a very mean looking face, though, hasn't it? It's got a very, very, very mean looking face. That's pretty cool. I've never seen that car before, actually. Or I have, and I just really not noticed it. That's cool. I like that. It's a nice car. She dangled from side to side of back wings. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's. It's a nice looking car. I actually. You only really see that kind of styling on American cars, really, don't you? You don't really tend to see wings like that on other cars from other countries and stuff like that. It's, only Americans seem to have that sort of like flair of huge bat wings on a car. You just don't see it anymore either, really. It's not something that you really. Right, there's nothing wrong with that one. That looks fine. That. Put the wheel back on. Yeah, you don't really see that kind of styling anymore. You just stay away from stuff like that. Everything's either really round or looks like something out of a film that you're like, yeah. It's like, I saw something the other day. Can't remember what it was. I think it was one of the new Hyundais. It was an electric car. Now, I used to like Hyundais. You know, I've had quite a few Hyundais in my time. That's got no brake pad or thing at all. Oh, because I've took it off. Numpty. What am I doing? I'm getting confused. But yeah, no, I saw one of the new Hyundais, an electric one, and I just looked at it and I was like, what have they done? You know, like I said, I used to be a bit of a fan of Hyundais back when I was younger. I've had quite a few of them, and they're one of those cars that's kind of sporty, got a bit of a kick, but they cost next to nothing. They were sort of like a poor man's sports car kind of thing for me. But they've changed the styling on the new Hyundai so much, and they've made it look like a car from like 2020, from like 2040 or something like that. You know, like when you're watching an old film that's supposed to be set in the future, and they've got all these cars that are rounded and look really futuristic, and they've done that with it. And I sort of looked at it and gone, just because it's electric doesn't mean you need to make it look like that. You can still give it a bit of style and class. I hate cars that look like that. They look horrible. Cher says, well, then I like the American style of car when I am Russian. Well, it doesn't matter where you're from, does it? I'm from the UK. You know, and I do like some of the styling. Like I said, there's not many places in the world that really do it. Like, obviously, some of the old British cars had similar designs, not quite as flamboyant. You know, they didn't have the massive wings and all that kind of thing. They still had wings and all that, you know, but they weren't as flamboyant as the American cars are. They were definitely a little bit more subtle, should we say. Like if you look at some of the old, like argument say, the old French cars, they had character. Don't get me wrong, they had really nice character, but they were very. What's the word? I don't want to be insulting for people who like them. Shit. But yeah, I'm not a fan. I like French cars, I really do. I own one. I have a Citroen. But it's the older ones. I can't really say much about them. They don't look all that good, in my opinion. It's my opinion. No one else, you know, you don't have to take my opinion. You can do what you want with it. But it's yeah, I'm not a massive fan of the old style Citroen and stuff like that. And again, it's like yourself, Cher, older Russian vehicles. I honestly don't know many Russian vehicles, to be fair. I honestly can't tell you many. The only one I do know, which I know is world famous, is Lada. My dad had a Lada when we was a kid. He had quite a few when I was a kid. He had quite a few of them. We had a few Ladas. And don't get me wrong, it was a bloody good car. It really was. And it's such a shame that they banned them in the UK because they were good cars. You know, they weren't the prettiest car in the world, but they ran and they very rarely broke down. To be fair, it was pretty good. They were pretty good. Right, so we need brake disc, brake pad, brake disc ventilated ×2, and brake caliper, brake pads. Okay. So let's go with the brake disc first. Oh, I'm in the electronic shop, that's why it's not working. Back and over to the car parts department, that's it. And then open the shopping list, got brake disc. So let's get one of them. Shopping list, delete that. Brake disc ventilated ×2. Apparently, unless I didn't delete something. We need a brake caliper, buy that. And then we need one brake pad apparently. That doesn't seem right, but okay. Okay, that should be everything. Hopefully, I've got that right. So let's change it into part mount mode. And then put the pad back on. Oh yeah, they're not too bad, some of those pads, are they? What was the minimum thing? I'll have a look in a second. I've got myself confused because I got engrossed in that conversation. I've kind of lost myself. But I'll make sure I've got all the parts. In old cars from the UK, have small wings, and old US have massive big wings. Yes, they do. It's kind of like we made baby versions of the American cars. It's like we like that, but it's too big for over here. That's pretty much, I think, what was going through the mind, kind of thing. It's like yeah, they are really too small for American cars. It's like if you see an old Cadillac going down a road over here, because there is actually someone who's got one round here where I live, and it takes up the entire road, and it's like, that shouldn't be legal over here. They're massive. You know, it's like argument say a guy who lives around the corner from me. He recently got rid of it. An old Winnebago, one of the old American Winnebagos, and it was. He parks it on the roadside, and every time I go down the road where he lives, I had to slow down that much because I had to squeeze past it. Because even though it was bumped up on the curb, you still couldn't get past it. It was so big. It was definitely, it was clearly an import because it was a left-hand drive. It wasn't a right-hand drive, so he clearly imported it. But unfortunately, he recently got rid of it because the engine gave out on it. But I think it was a 1974 Winnebago. Yeah, so it was getting on. It was getting on. Cher says, I should say that larders right now are bad. They try to mimic Renault, but they fail all the time. Seriously. I honestly didn't know that. Like I said, that as far as I'm aware, larders were banned over here in, I want to say the mid to late 90s, because obviously I don't know what your road rules are over in Russia and what have you, but they refused to put catalytic converters on them. So they weren't allowed over here anymore because every car, I think it was sort of like a 97, 98, was required to have a catalytic converter over here, so they got banned. Which was a shame because they were good cars, but back in the day. They rusted like hell, which would be over here is not a good thing because it rains a lot, but it's they were good. Like I said, they weren't pretty, but they ran really well. 62%, that doesn't seem right. I think, what's the minimum power condition? 55. Oh yeah, so it's fine. It's fine. Right, let's put it back on then. And that's that done. But yeah, no, I don't know, have they even changed style ladder since, like, ever? Because whenever you see them in films still, like when there's a film set in Russia and what have you, seem to look the same still, even now. Are they just old ones, or have they just not changed the design? You know, it's funny when a card sort of like goes out of production, like in a different country, and you sort of look back and you're like, I've not thought about that in years, kind of thing. Right, that should be done. Let's get it off the ramp. Checklist. All done. And finish order. Beautiful, beautiful. Right, just bear with me a second. I'm just going to take a quick drink of my water. One gold old car is a Volga. It is a good USSR production car for that time. I'll look at that. I've never heard of a Volga. Apologies if my bottle cracks. I'm drinking water out of the bottle. I know the noise of crinkling bottles does annoy people at times. No, I've never heard of a Volga. Have a quick look now while I'm just taking 2 seconds. Images. Let's have a look. Oh. I think I've seen one of them before. I honestly think I've seen one of them at a classic car show before. It's quite possible. Looks very familiar. Huh. Not too sure on that one, but I think I have seen one of them. Right, anyway guys, before we take the next order, I'll be back in just 2 seconds. I just need a quick toilet break, so just bear with me 2 seconds. Obviously I'm going to leave the screen on because I'm streaming from the Xbox, and I can't put it on a pause screen. So I'll be back in just 2 seconds. Sorry about that, I am back. And Sher says, also, style of ladders has changed 4 times. Honestly, I couldn't couldn't tell you if I actually knew that or not. Because like I said, the ones that I mainly remember from over here, they were all the same. You know, but like I said, they were good cars. They ran really well. But the question is though, out of argument's sake, modern day cars, out of any car you could have, so not obviously the classic cars are really nice, but obviously with impending doom of petrol bans and diesel bans and all that kind of thing, it's going to make it incredibly difficult for owning something like that. What kind of modern car would you go for? Just as a question to you, Sher. What kind of modern car would you go for these days? Or even if you own the car that you want, what car do you own? If you don't mind me asking that question. Right, so this one, I think it looks kind of like I want to say Supra. Maybe a Supra. Kind of looks like one. Checklist. So it needs ABS module, ABS pump, brake calipers. So it needs to go on the ramp, and we need to do something under the bonnet. So let's move it to the ramp. Right, let's do the stuff under the bonnet first and get that out of the way. So it needs the ABS module doing. Before I do that, actually, let's quickly go in my inventory and clean it out, because we really don't need this stuff. So let's sell everything that's in there and get rid of it. So sell parts. There we go, nice and clean. Let's get rid of the ABS module. I should have clicked on it. There we go. Nope, that was still wrong. It was the battery. Oh yeah, zoom out. There we go. That's better. Wrong one. Module. Yeah, they are absolutely trashed. And the pump. That needs to come out. Okay, so it was just a module and the pump that needed doing, wasn't it? Let me just double check. Sorry, my memory is horrific, so I do need to keep referring back to the list. So module and pump, and then the rest of it's underneath. So let's get the module and pump ordered and done first. Nope, wrong button. Why did they decide to put back as Y rather than B on the Xbox controller? So frustrating. I always press the wrong one. So we need a module and we need a pump. Okay, let's get them installed and then they're done. Part mount. Let's get the pump back in and then the module. I can't wait till we unlock the repair stuff, and then we can actually save some money by repairing items rather than buying them. So Cher says, I would want a new Chevrolet Camaro or new redesign of the Porsche 911. But which of the 911s? Because there's a very large range of 911s. There's quite a few of them. To be honest, I can't remember which model it is. Is it the 911B? Can't remember. I think it came out in 2017. That's quite a nice one. I'm not gonna. I know a lot of people don't like Porsches. Yeah, I don't know why. I'm not gonna slate them because I don't really have an opinion on Porsches all that much. But to me, they're nice cars. But I know a lot of people really don't like them for some reason. It's like I can say it when I'm playing Forza with with some of my friends and everything like that. Whenever I pull a Porsche out, they always slate me for it. They always say to me, "Why are you driving that piece of crap?" You know, but to me, as long as it drives and it does a good job and it wins the race, I don't care. So brake disc, let's get that out. That needs doing. And looking on this side, that's the caliper that needs replacing. That one needs jammed. Great. I really do wish that WD-40 would work that fast in real life. If only. Is that off? And caliper there needs changing. This wheel off. I'm stuck. Shay says, also I have my phone lagged, I typed the wrong thing. Don't you just hate it when that happens? So, there's nothing worse than when you try and type and it just goes completely wrong on your phone. So, that's why I like if I'm on Twitch or I'm watching Twitch or something like that, I always use my PC. As good as technology is on phones these days, they're not always very reliable. Definitely knackered that brake pad. Get that out. And job done. Right, so the minimum part condition. So we've got caliper, and pads. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So let's quickly go in my inventory, and we need a pad. We need caliper. Brake disc and a caliper. Perfect. Computer, where are you? You're over there. Right, so Cher says, so there you have it. I have allegedly confidential information about this game. Okay, I've missed something there. Because it went from your phone lag to you have information. Did something not post there? Right, so we need brake pads. No, we're in the electronic shop again. Let's get out of the electronic shop. We'll be in there. Car parts. Shopping list. We need a brake pad. Buy that. That's the shopping list. Delete. We need 2 calipers this time, so 2 calipers. Shopping list, delete that, and a brake disc, then deleted. Perfect. Come back to the shopping list and clear that off. Google. I've lost you. Stop trying to confuse me. Are you using Google Translate? Or are you okay with just English in general? Sorry, I'm not. I'm just assuming here. I don't mean to. Back together. Let's get the back one on. Yeah, there's nothing worse than your Wi-Fi lags. You know, that actually, it's a really sore point for me, that, because it's like, we actually pay for like the best internet we can have in our area, and we actually pay quite a premium to have it, so that it doesn't muck up on us and it doesn't break down. And guess what? It breaks down all the time, and the Wi-Fi lags out sometimes, and it's so annoying. But we actually found out a little bit of information about it the other day, because we've actually suffered with it for a while, and we came up with a solution to move the hub from where it should be into the main living area of the house, so that we got a good Wi-Fi connection through generally most of the house, and it worked. It was fine, but obviously because it was on an extension wire, it slowed it down a bit, because obviously the longer the wire, the more the signal it's going to transfer, and it took longer for the signal to transfer, so it slowed the internet down a little bit. Anyway, the wire got broken, and we had to move it back to its original position, which is by our front door. And basically, it how can I explain it? Basically, it's by the front door. There's no plug sockets there. There's literally just the phone socket, and it's in a really, really awkward position. And when the hub is there, the signal for the Wi-Fi is really, really bad, and we couldn't figure out why, because it's like we have problems with his phones as well. If we walk past our living room door, our phones don't work. They just stop working, and we couldn't figure out why. And it turns out, obviously, I knew a little bit of this. I used to be an electrician, but I didn't know the full extent of the problems it could cause. Where our phone box is also where our breaker box is for our electrics. So we've literally got the hub sat on a counter under the breaker box, because that's the only place it can go. And obviously, electronic stuff can interfere with Wi-Fi signals. But it turns out because the Wi-Fi is right next to the breaker box, and all the main electrics of the house run through the hallway where the Wi-Fi is, it really dampens the connection. So we've actually figured out why we have problems with our Wi-Fi, and it's like, so we pay all this money for good Wi-Fi, and it's the house that's causing the problems. It's like, wonderful, just what we really needed. So yeah, unfortunately, it's Wi-Fi can be problematic. Cher says, no, I can talk in English, I just can't type in English. Okay, I always forget the rules and all that stuff. Now I talk myself. Okay, you know, that's fair enough. I get that. So you do like the speech to text, which, yeah, I get that. That makes perfect sense, to be fair. I actually have a friend from Holland. Now, he's the opposite to you. He can type in English superb. His English is absolutely superb in typing. But get on headset with him, and his English isn't so great. He can't talk English very well. Well, he can now, but way back when. I've known him for years and years and years. But way back when, his English was very, very bad. He could type to you, no problem, but talking, yeah, it was a bit difficult for him. But yeah, no, I get that. I do get that. It's wrong thing. Want the phone again? Right. Anyway, let's crack on. So that's another one done, and we're now up to 5,800 credits, and we are level 2. Oh, actually, that's why we're level 2. Have we got any points? Let's have a look. We have 1 point to spend, so let's get that discount. The regular customer 5% discount on parts you buy from the shop. I think we will unlock that. That is something that we do need. Okay, so we'll get us parts a little cheaper now, and hopefully that'll help out a bit. So we have a Catagri Tamago, and it needs something. Doesn't say. Mechanical problem, obviously, because it's got the spanner. Let's take it. So, looking at it, it's a Honda Civic. It's a 90s Honda Civic. It's definitely something along them lines. Could be something else, but I honestly think it's a Civic. That's what it looks like to me. Okay, so car status. What does it need? Refill brake fluid, refill coolant fluid, power steering, and windshield washer fluid. Okay, so that is quite simple. It's quite a simple one. Oh, wrong control. There we go. Sure says, so I was trying to say about information about the game. It is about one of the cars. Okay. Let's get the next one done. That's that done. And let's get the power steering done. we just need to do... Where's the brakes? Where's the brakes? Where's the brakes? Hiding at the back over there. There we go. Let's get that topped up. And done. Okay. Right, so that should be that job finished. Let's put the bonnet down and checklist. Yep, all done. Finish order. Nice and easy. That was a pretty simple one. Nice and easy. Let's get another job. Right, so this one, ooh, it's an auto tutto Lavertino. Okay, so basically it's an Alfa Romeo, but yes, it is an Alfa Romeo, and it has poor brake performance, and we have got a list provided as well on this one. So let's take that job. It sure says, game forgot that here is more than one Toyota Corolla in real life. There is more than 30 variants of Corollas, yeah. You know, and that's the thing in it that can, like, from my take of what you just said, a lot of games forget stuff like that. Like, they'll just say, oh, let's throw a Toyota Corolla, like you just said, in there. And they'll give you a particular one, or the one that was most popular through the years, but it might not be everybody's favourite. Just because it was generally popular, you know, like on sales or something like that, doesn't mean that it was everybody's favourite car. You know, because it's like, argument's sake, Vauxhall Corsa. Whenever you go into a game, you always see like the most modern one. They always put the most modern version of it in, and personally, like for me, I preferred the last one to the new one. You know, the new one's nice, there's nothing wrong with it, but I preferred the last version of the Corsa to the new version of the Corsa. But then, like, for nostalgic purposes, I like the 90s version of the Vauxhall Corsa, just because my mum had one, and you know, I have fond memories of that car, and you know, they sort of just think, oh, that's what people want, but yeah, there's so many variants of them, and even again, it's like, sometimes you only see one type, so, like, argument's sake, again, the Corolla, or even like the Avensis, the Toyota Avensis, you get a saloon, you get a hatchback, and you get an estate. So why is it, like, argument's sake, you only get a hatchback? Where's the saloon and the estate? Because even though they're aesthetically the same car, they are different. You know, they have differences. Right, so what is wrong with this car? Sorry. I'm getting sidetracked here talking. All to do with the brakes. So let's get it in and get it on the ramp. So ABS is buggered. It is absolutely total that. That looks a state. Let's get it out. Let's get it out of there and get it replaced. Right, so we need a new ABS pump. Let's go on the shop and get one. So, electronics in it, yet. And we need a pump. Buy that. And let's get that straight back in. And then it's done. Right, that's that done. Sorry, I'm just laughing at my missus because I know what she's about to say. Right. That's that done. Let's quickly clear out the inventory again. Sell and anything 50%. Sell it. There we go. All cleared. Let's get it up on the ramp now. Let's get these brakes done. Let's get tyres off, wheels off. Sorry, not tyres. Get these wheels off. And yep, that's a dodgy caliper. The caliper off. Nothing wrong with the pad. Pad looks fine. And this one looks like it's just the. Oh dear. And shirt also says. Also, my brother have one of the Corollas. I think it's a 1972. Maybe it is like oval. Oh, you mean like an oval shape? Yeah. I think I know which one you mean. I remember. Is it the sports one? Are you on about the sports Corolla? Because if I remember right, the one from '72, it was kind of like. Did it look kind of like the MR2 from the '90s or the '80s? Can't remember, '80s or '90s. And it was sort of like a roundy, ovally shape, weren't it? I think that's what you mean. Take the brake pads off, get that out, because that is absolutely trashed, and that one looks like a full rework because the caliper, the pad, and the disc is all shot. Yeah, that's all shot, that all needs replacing. Okay. Get that out. And let's check if there's anything on this wheel. Oh, looks okay. Right, so let's go with what we got and get it ordered. So, not shopping list, inventory. And we want a brake disc, we want a brake pad, we want the caliper, another disc, and another caliper. Okay, so back on the computer, let's get this stuff ordered, get out of the electronics shop, into the car parts, and shopping list. So we need a brake disc, buy that, back into the shopping list, and delete that. We need a brake pad, back into shopping list, delete that. We need 2 calipers, and we need a ventilated brake disc as well. Okay, and clear the shopping list. All done. Right, let's get it put back together. And get back into part mount mode. So brake disc ventilated. Brake pads, get them on. Back on to the caliper. And that is number 1 done. Perfect. Let's get the next mount on. Brake disc. Get the pad back on and the caliper. Cher says 4 doors and low between the bottom and the road 20 centimetres. She almost scratches the bottom on speed bumps. Oh, I can believe that. Yeah. Not far from where I live. So where I used to live, I lived in a house sort of like 5-10 minutes away. There was a guy that lived just up the road, and he owns a business where they do like wedding cars and all that kind of thing. So they have like Rolls Royces, they have stretch limos, you know, like Lincoln limousines and all that kind of thing. But they also do sports cars. And he has stuff like Ferraris, and he has Lamborghinis, and generally just anything you can think of that's like a sport or a super sport or anything like that. And they rent them out for special occasions and all that kind of thing. So anyway, a few years ago, when I lived where I used to live, he basically had quite a big house just at the top of the road, and he built it so that he had a garage under his house. So he would quite literally bring. He didn't have like a business premises. He kept all the cars at home under his house, which was a smart move. Save on storage, all that kind of thing. Great. But the thing that I don't think the guy foresaw was the fact that on the next street up from where he lived was a school, and it was a school that my children went to. It was literally like, I think it was a street or 2 streets up from where his house was, and it was like just up the road from me. And it was a school literally a couple of streets up from where we lived. And this one day, I didn't know it was happening, so I'm very much doubt he knew it was happening. I'm on my way home from work. I come past my kid's school, and I'm coming down the road like I normally do at about 30 plus miles an hour, and like you do normally. And all of a sudden, my car takes off in the air because I hit this speed bump that they put in while I was at work. And bear in mind, at this time, I was in my car at the time was an MG ZT. So for you guys who don't know what that is, it's a British sports car. But yeah, it was an MG ZT, and I absolutely loved it. It was a fantastic car. But I hit it at about 30 to 35 miles an hour, and it was not a small speed bump. It was at least, and it's still there now, it's at least a good 25 to 30 centimetres high, this speed bump. It's quite a big, hefty speed bump, and I hit it at full speed and took off. But they put 2 of these speed bumps in on the roads around the school, and then they put a couple of others in that were a little bit smaller. But they put them all around this guy's house, and the same day that I hit the speed bump, I went out a bit later on, and this guy had gone to take one of his sports cars out, because obviously he was renting it out, and got it stuck on the speed bump. And it was literally on top of the speed bump with his wheels in the air, and he couldn't get it off. They had to bring out a tow truck that could lift cars to lift it off the speed bump and get it out. Absolute nightmare. Freaking hate speed bumps. Such a nuisance. Yeah, such a nuisance. But yeah, no, it was so funny. The fact that he had all these supercars in the garage under his house, and he couldn't get them out because of these speed bumps they put in. It's great. Right, anyway. Car status, that is all done, so we'll finish the order there. Oh, hold on, what does it say? Front wheel size are mismatched. Oh, have I put the wheels on wrong? Ooh. I mucked that up, didn't I? So, what size is this one? Let's take all... Chair says, also 2 trees fall on that car in the same place now. It have a broken roof, and for 2 years she can no longer do what the car should. For 2 years she can no longer do what the car should. It is stuck in one place. I'll kick a leg again. I got you. So in other words, the roof's broken and it can't do what the car should do anymore. I guess that'd happen after trees fall on a car. I'm thankful that nothing like that's ever happened to me, to be fair. I have had like a branch fall on my car, but it never really caused any damage. Just scratched the paintwork up and what have you. I did actually have a near miss a few weeks ago, just over a month ago. I was taking my sister home because she works. I live on the outskirts of Manchester, and she works in the city centre, and often she has to get a bus because she can't drive. She gets a bus from the city centre up to our local bus station, and then she has to change buses to get home because she lives on the other side of the town where I live, and there isn't a direct bus that goes where she lives. And she often if she's on a really late, because she works for a 4-star restaurant, and she doesn't usually get out of work till like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. So it's getting late and all that kind of thing. So sometimes she gets the bus, she'll get off at near my house, and I'll give her a lift home. Anyway, this particular day, it was really bad weather, and from where my house is to where her house is, basically between us, it's nothing but farmland and countryside, and it's basically a back road straight through from mine to hers. It's not big enough for trucks or anything like that, it's just big enough for cars. And I was taking her home, and the weather was really, really bad. And anyway, halfway through this track that's going up to where she lives, there used to be this really, really, I'd say used to be, old tree that was on the side of the road, and it sort of leaned over ever so slightly. Anyway, I'm driving along. Bear in mind, this road has no lights. It is a completely black road. It's dark. There's nothing. There's just one light on a particular corner for some reason. I don't know why it's there. But the rest of it, you have to have high beams on when you're driving on there. And we're driving along. The weather's absolutely awful. It's snowing. It's icy. And I'm driving along, and all of a sudden, this tree just goes bump in the middle of the road in front of me. And there was a car in front of me, and it came down just behind him, and I was like, that is so close. And I wouldn't mind, it was like a really big oak tree, so it wasn't light. It was a big, hefty tree. And I just sat there for a minute, and I was like, yeah, we're going to have to go the other way now. So I had to literally turn around and drive the longest way around to her house. But I was just thankful it didn't fall on my car, because I'd only had the car about 3 weeks at the time. When the tree come down, I was like, I would have been so upset if my new car had got squished. Right, so I put these tyres on wrong, apparently. So what have we got here? So we've got 205, 45, 17, 17, 17. So how are they mismatched? They're all the same. Oh, no, they're not. So we've got 45R, 45R, and a 40R. So I'm guessing that one wants to be 40R. Get that on. So are you using Google to watch... just a question to share, by the way, sorry. Are you using Google to watch Twitch, or are you using the Twitch app? Let's get the next wheel on, and hopefully I actually get it right this time. And the last one. Let's get it on. Fingers crossed that's right this time. Right, so before I drop it down, let's check that it's done. Yeah, it's done. See if it does it. I'm not going to drop it down. Yeah, got it right that time. I must just put the wrong wheel on the wrong place. Right, so far we have 98 XP out of 300, we're level 2, and we have 6,871 credits. We may have got a little bit further if I weren't getting so distracted talking, so I do apologise to people for that. But I do tend to get a little bit carried away when I'm talking and I get distracted. But unfortunately, that's me. I can't help that. Right, so let's have a quick look and see what we got now. So what is this? So, car is hard to control, list provided. It is a Mayan M3 AWD. It's an Audi, basically. So let's take that. It looks like suspension work. You're from PC. Right, fair enough. Fair enough. Right, so why am I going on the road? Don't need to go on the road. Let's look at the checklist. Sway, bar, rear end link. So we need to get it on the ramp, and we need to get that done. So I'll move it to the ramp. Let's move it to the ramp. Okay. Let's get it up. Just bear with me, just gonna take a quick drink. Okie dokie. Right, so we've got a sway bar, wheel end link. Let's have a nosy. Is it on the back end? Yep, there it is. I can see it. That's the one. Need to get that out. And yes, we have to take the wheel off, which is unfortunate. That's the wheel off. Let's get it out. I think that is the only part that needs replacing. So, I always like to add them to the shopping list just so that I know I am getting the right part. Because you never know. You never know when they're going to add something different. And you may get a different part. So let's buy the part. Oh. What we owing at? Right, so. Get it reinstated. And then that's this one done quite quickly. Right, that should be that one done. That was quite quick and easy. Why do I keep opening the bonnet? Stop it. Stop doing that. That should be done now. Yep, nice and easy. Let's see what we got next. Can't wait to get on with doing some of our own cars. That will be nice if we can get that in the future. So again, we've got a Valton 2040 Volvo. And it's got a list provided, and its mechanical problems probably needs servicing. Let's have a look. And refill windshield washer fluid. Right, is that it? Windshield washer fluid. Top it up. A little bit more. Do. Also, can I say one thing in Russian with translation and pronunciation? Yeah, if you want to. If you wish. I don't mind. Obviously, if it's in Russian I won't be able to read it, but that is perfectly fine. Right, that should be this one done. Refill windshield washer fluid. Done. Order. Easy. Easy peasy. Let's see what else we got. So we got another Honda Civic, category Tamago, and it's got poor brake performance. So again, it's probably going to be brake pads and discs. So let's have a quick look at what it needs. So ABS pump, brake caliper, brake disc, and brake pads. Okay, nice and easy. Move it to the ramp. So we need to do the ABS pump first. So yeah, we actually want to go on the HUD. Let's take the. Oh, actually, before we do that, let's make sure that my inventory is empty because I don't like having stuff in my inventory. Sell parts. Yeah, that's good. Right. So ABS pump. Let's get that done. Oh, sorry, 1 second. My cat is invading my space, and she's trying to play with my PC. Right. So let's start with engineer. We call it engineer. Right. So basically, if you were pronouncing it the way you pronounce it, sort of into English, it's more engineer than engineer. That's what I'm guessing he's saying. Or she, sorry, I don't know if you're a boy or a girl. I'm assuming. But, yeah. From what they're saying. Apologies for that. Stuck. Let's get that off. And, right, so we need a pump. We need a pump. Inventory. And we need to add that to shopping list. Sure says it's more like in gear. Ah, so more like it's more pronunciation on the R kind of thing. So more in gear. In gear. I'm really bad at pronunciations. You may know it is in gear kind of thing. So let's order that pump. Back to the electronics shop. Was it the pump we needed? That one's bleeding. Yeah, it was pump. Cher says I'm bad at explanation, but wait 1 second. Oh, it's fine. Don't worry. Don't worry. It doesn't help with language barriers, does it? It does make it hard. And I will admit, I am a typical ignorant English person. I don't know any other language than English. Ah, so engineer. Engineer, I think how you pronounce that. Or Herner? Similar. It's funny how languages differ so much. So, up on the ramp, let's get these brake weights done now. Up again. Oh, look at this caliper. And get this caliper changed, because that is absolutely shot. Right, so that one's done. That needs a new brake disc. And that needs both disc and a pad, it looks of it. Disc and the pad. Go on. Cher says, do you want to know how Apple pronounced? Yep, go on. You can tell me how Apple's pronounced. I do not mind. I actually quite like these conversations. I had one. I've had many of these conversations because, like I said, I had a friend that was from Holland, and I also had one. Unfortunately, he's passed away now. From Sweden. But the funny thing is, with a guy from Sweden, he was American, but he'd lived in Sweden all his life, so he spoke Swedish, but obviously he knew perfect English. So would that be pronounced Yabloko, or would you not pronounce the B, or would it be like Yaloko? I don't think anything he's doing on that wheel. Can't really see anything on that one either. I might have to take the wheel off. See properly. See if we can see. No, that looks fine. Maybe we've got them all. That pad looks okay. Right, let's just put that back together and see what parts, because I may have just missed something. Put the accent of the first letter and it will be perfect. So is it more like... So I'm assuming you're saying like with pronunciation of the B, so it would be more like Yabloko? back on. Let's get the parts ordered, and then we can do that. Sorry, I am concentrating for a second. And the caliper. Yep, there we go. We've already done the pump. That's fine. Let's get back into the car parts shop and open the shopping list. And we don't need the ABS pump, that can be deleted. Brake disc ventilated, yes, we need that. Oh, no, didn't mean to. Oh, why did he put B on it? I don't like this. I don't understand why they do that. Brake pads. And then we need a brake caliper. And delete that off there as well. Put that back together. Put the pads on. Put the caliper back on. Put word stress on, like, so it's more like yeah kind of thing. So a bit more like, how can I explain it? So a bit more like when you hear a Swedish person saying yes, or more like ja bloko. Yeah, I get you. I get you. It's funny how the accent can make a difference. It really can. I find that really amusing. But one thing I will say though, I actually really admire the Russian alphabet, because like for me it's so confusing, because I just look at it and it's just like, I have no idea what that would mean. Whereas like with other languages you can sort of look at it and go, oh, it might mean this, but with Russian it's like, nope. Not got a clue. And actually, a question for you, sure. Do your keyboards come with like the Russian letters on them, or do you have to like? Because I know like with ours, we can do Russian letters and stuff like that, but we have to do a combination of key presses to actually get them to come up. Are yours actually just like out like that kind of thing? Do you just buy them like that? I've always wondered, to be fair, because I know that obviously most other countries they still have like an English style keyboard. It's basically the same as ours, and then they just do a certain key presses for certain letters or accents, kind of thing. Because like I've got a friend from France, and when he's talking on the keyboard, if he's talking in French, he has to do I think it's like Control and Alt, and then press whatever letter it is to get the accent to come out, kind of thing. And sometimes you have to put, I think it's Control Alt, and then you have to press a series of numbers on the numpad to get a different accent, kind of thing. I've always wondered if like your keyboards are the same like ours, or if you've got your own. Right, let's see where we're at on that. Yep, that should be done. Finish order. Perfect. That is done. Perfect. Right, let's take a quick drink. Apologies if you can hear my bottle cracking. Yeah, it happens. But anyway, guys, that is going to be the last job I'm doing now, because I am going to be ending the stream in a few minutes. Because here it is nearly dinner time, and I'm hungry. So, but I'm assuming Cher's replying back, so I'll give them chance to reply. But while I'm just waiting, there we go. Cher says, well, we need to press Shift and Control in order to switch to the Russian layout from English, but the main language on this keyboard is Russian. All right, I always wondered that. To be honest, you're actually other than like people I've worked with in the past, just sort of like they've been working in the same place where I worked. You're the first Russian person I've actually properly spoke to. I've never actually really spoke to anybody from Russia. Like I used to work in a factory. And there were quite a few like Russian and Latvian and Lithuanian people there. but they didn't really talk much, so it weren't a case of like, we really spoke all that much. But yeah, you're the first person. I've always wondered that. To be fair, I've always wondered, because obviously, like when I've spoken to other people from like around Europe and what have you, they've they all have basically an English style keyboard, but slight differences, I guess. But yeah, no, I was curious, and thank you for answering that. It was good to know. But anyway, guys, I really do hope you have enjoyed the stream, and for you guys who will watch it on YouTube later, I hope you've enjoyed the video. All the videos for this will be going to over to YouTube like normal. Everything will go over as usual. So like I said, hope you've enjoyed the video, hope you've enjoyed the stream. Thank you so much for watching, and Cher, thank you very much. Much appreciated the conversation. It has been quite a fun conversation, to be fair. Really enjoyed it. And again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow. And I will see you again very soon. And bye for now.